You guys want to go?
How about it? You good, Ira?
Just going into year two, just how helpful is that in terms of guys knowing what you're expecting and not just the system, but just expectations?
Yeah, I think that the year two traditionally is just like with everything. Right? As a player, the second year, your sophomore year is usually one of your better years, just from the growth. I think it's the same way as coaches. There's just so many things that you go back and reflect on in terms of just individually, schematically wise, philosophy wise. Was I focusing on the right things? Did I put guys in the right positions to make plays? And then conversely, the players, those guys know. There's just a different feel for when they know the defense and they're moving around. You can do things that you weren't doing early on in the season. Until later in the season. Like right now, the guys are moving around. They're doing stuff that we didn't do until the summertime. They've been doing them all January and February. So, which gives you a leg up on assignments, on techniques, and really then when you can focus on those kind of things, then it gives you a chance to really emphasize how you play. And I think that's going to be the emphasis this year is how we play. Those guys are going to know what to do. Now it's going to be how do we do things around here? How do we look when we take the grass? So.
When you were assembling personnel for this group, how did you want to do it differently from a year ago in the sense of did you want more versatility maybe at the end position, some of the pieces that you were able to go get, whether it was portal or high school this
Yeah, I think you both, right? You wanted to do things to shore up the run, so you wanted a big body in there. And then with Sanders, which is great, he's looking good, run around, stuff like that. And then you wanted to get after the quarterback, so you wanted some edge help. Had a lot of great young men in terms of the freshman class coming in, so you had some talent there. And then in terms of linebacker, you wanted to get upgrade the athleticism and get some veteran presence, and it was great to be able to get Chris Jones and then Mackay, who's played some great football for us at Nebraska, and then obviously at North Carolina and his experiences, and then so adding to that group with Blake and Omar back and in great shape and doing things, I think that's going to be an electric group. And then DB-wise, I can't tell you enough how important adding that transfer class was. I think John and the whole recruiting and scouting department, those guys did a great job in terms of identifying playmakers, guys who are versatile, guys who can cover, who can blitz, maturity, experience, and really just football guys. I think that being able to have a bunch of be in a room of football guys will allow us to do some really good things this year.
Where did you feel like you guys fell short last year from a personnel standpoint, being able to do things?
Yeah, I think probably the biggest thing is just one, obviously being year one, not understanding the nuances of the defense, things like that. Didn't do a good enough job there. The how to do it, I thought there were some games where you give up 200 yards rushing, you're soft. And that starts with me, and you don't ever do that crap. So the how we do it obviously lacked. And then the last thing is I think the players in terms of getting some guys into the program that truly appreciate Coach Norvell, truly appreciate the opportunity to represent the Seminoles, truly appreciate where they're at, and the things they're surrounded by. I think, everybody can stand up here and talk about, oh yeah, we got a good, we got some guys in that locker room that truly are about Florida State, that truly want to be good, that are truly putting in the work. The chemistry is good, and so it's giving us a chance to go into the spring ball with the ability to improve.
Of the returning guys on your side of the ball, is there anybody or a group of guys that have really taken a nice step in the last 8 to 10 weeks?
Yeah, there's a bunch of individuals. Dan Lyons, I think, continues to prove to me that he can be one of the better defensive linemen in the country. I said that about a safety last year, just judging, watching him and stuff, his demeanor, and ended up being true. I said that about the Desir twins, and Daryl just didn't get as many opportunities, but ended up being true. Like Dan, when we go back and watch on the film, the things he was doing at the end of the season, really, you go back and watch, you didn't appreciate him like that last year. Like he truly was towards the end of the season, like one of the better defensive linemen we had, period. And then now he's taking that into the offseason, and he's acting like an all-conference performer, period, right now. Deontay McCray, another one who's, again, putting his body right, who's can play, gives you the versatility to play anywhere up there. He's doing some great things right now. Having Tay Diggs back from his injury, from his neck, he's strong. I mean, he's like 265. We're actually going to try to tone him down a little bit, but you know, he was dynamic when you go back and watch him getting after the passer and his ability and his twitch. So you're grateful there. I think the linebackers again, Omar and Blake, AJ Cottrell, those young guys we brought in, those transfers we brought in, that's going to be an electric group of players. Caleb LaValle is healthy, running around, and he looks explosive and strong. And then again, the DB group, you know, it's going to start this year with Ashland. You know, he's just acting different right now. Him and KJ are taking charge of the group. They're acting different. I mean, they're bigger, stronger, faster. They know what the hell's going on, and they're holding guys accountable. And then those transfers that we brought in, I think those guys are football guys. And you just add that up together, man. I'm gonna speak it into existence. I got a lot of confidence in this group so far.
Ashland's still the same spot, or are you moving him around?
No, he's moving around. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see him at different spots, especially the rover spot. So we'll see.
Franklin, bringing in Nick Franklin as the edge coach.
Yeah.
That seems like a significant coaching at Jim.
Oh yeah, Coach Williams. Yeah. Coach Williams. He's again, you look at the pedigree where he's from. I mean, he's learned from some of the best coaches in the country and some of the best football programs. And then you're around him and you feel his energy. You know, I mean, he's again, any football coach that wears cleats to practice and runs around with the guys, you better believe that they know what the hell they're doing and talking about and bring that energy. So he's a guy who very lucky to have. Coach Norvell, again, you know, he had a plan for it, and I remember the whole process of his hiring and stuff, and it was a great move from Coach Norvell and it's added nothing but greatness so far to what we're doing.
On containment and on pass rush.
Yep.
That's his specialty.
Yeah, I mean, recruiting, number one. The dude's a workforce in recruiting, number one, and then two, it's the pass rush specialist, and then the being really specific with the edges. You know, allowing those two guys, T. Knight and Nick, together will give that group all the resources they need to be as good as they can be.
Mandrell got so much attention last year, but Darrell seemed like he really came on as the next one.
Darrell did some really, really good things. Again, he if he had probably played as much and been on the kind of the same packages, he would have been a freshman All-American as well. You know, and the great thing is you can see him stepping up, and you can see him taking the next level in all the workouts so far. So I know what kind of player he's going to be. He's going to end up leaving Florida State as an All-American. It's just, you know, both of those guys are. You know, and he's right there with, just like you said. So.
How important is Ryland in providing pass rush juice and just giving you something off the edge? And also, does he bring versatility in the sense of a jack?
Yep, 100%. He's an elite athlete. You know, you showed me, I think on the trip, they showed me pictures of him high jumping, whatever it was, 6'10" or something like that. And, you know, you're like, that's an elite athlete, but he actually can use it on the grass. You know, he's very twitchy and explosive. You go back and watch his transfer tape, and, you know, he was used in different ways. A lot of times he's spying the quarterback and all this kind of stuff. But the times he just went ahead and attacked the quarterback, he was winning. So, you know, him along with Jalen Anderson, they give you guys that can beat guys one-on-one and bring pressure off the edge. So it'll be great to get those guys acclimated. They're running around. They know what to do right now. And so now it's just a matter of seeing it in the grass and pads.
Coach, when you see the freshmen gain that level of success, what do you really tell with these incoming freshmen that if even having a good spring day could lead you getting an opportunity to play for this coming season? Yeah,
I mean, nowadays in the transfer portal world, like, you don't have 3-4 years that you have with guys, right? You got to make an impression. You got to do it right now. So when guys come here and they see this defensive system and they've seen what we've been able to do with freshmen. I mean, had 9-10 freshman All-Americans in my time being a defensive coordinator. It proves like, hey, everybody says you're going to play, but you're going to play, man. Like, we're good enough teachers to teach you what to do. You add that with your athletic ability, and it's proven on tape that you can go out there and be an All-American. So we got guys. You know, I know Cam Brooks got injured, but he was a guy who was showing signs of being like a freshman All-American. You got some other guys in there again who all those young guys are going to be really, really good football players. I mean, Ernest Rankins, Pinckney, Whitley, Franklin has gained almost 20 pounds already. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be an electric group of D linemen, and they're big. They're all 6'5", 6'6", you know, so it's just going to be their time. But, yeah, I was like, I got no problem playing freshmen as long as they're ready.